I'm Paul Major.
And I'm Diana Pierce. Coming up on News 11, a Richfield family wants to warn others of an unseen danger that almost killed them in their home.
A new Minneapolis police decoy operation debuts, but on shaky ground.
The two men vying for America's second top spot square off on national TV.
And we'll take a stroll through some beautiful Chinese countryside.
News 11 is next.
I'm not a hardware person. But when I walk into Hardware Hank and say I need a couple of those swivel deals, they know what I'm talking about. They even showed me how the swivel deals attach to those little clamp things. At Hardware Hank, they speak my language.
And we're speaking your language during Hardware Hank's anniversary sale with Pennzoil 30-weight motor oil, Marlin's 30-30 rifle, and the chance to win a $100 shopping spree.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
In 1991, they came to Earth. They learned our language and tried to fit in. But there's something about them we don't know. Alien Nation, rated R.
Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
We are nearing completion of my greatest work, the President's Home. Today, I discovered they will call it White House. I am utterly shocked at the name's lack of imagination.
When something's really special, you don't need a special name. So, at Hardee's, we call our burger the Big Deluxe. Thicker, juicier, more burger to win you over.
I trust they will find a more suitable name for his oval-shaped office.
The Big Deluxe. More burger, less name.
A smile is still a smile. A friend is still a friend. A love is still a love. Some things only get better as time goes by. Cheers 5 times a week. Play it again, Sam.
Now, the Twin Cities' most watched newscast, News 11. With Paul Majors, Diana Pierce, Tom Reiter on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Good evening. Topping tonight's News 11, a warning to check your furnace from a Richfield family who is lucky to be alive tonight.
The danger is carbon monoxide, which nearly killed a family of 4 this morning.
The source was a faulty furnace, and experts say it's a common problem. Doctors at Hennepin County Medical Center say they treated more than 80 serious cases of carbon monoxide poisoning last fall and winter, and fear the same could happen again this year. News 11's Dennis Stauffer talked to the family who found the danger in their home when they turned their furnace on for the first time last night.
And it was producing carbon monoxide, which came back into our home.
Jack Rear had a faulty furnace last night and discovered it the hard way when his family became deathly ill. His wife and kids woke up early this morning with severe flu-like symptoms.
There was no warning, there was no smell. It was just an incredibly bad headache.
I had a stomach ache, a headache, and I thought I was gonna blow up. My head hurt so bad.
I tried to get up, and I've never felt that sensation where you want to, but you can't.
They were quick.
It was Mrs. Rear who realized that with everyone sick at once, it must be something in the house. So after getting some fresh air, they went to the hospital. Ultimately, they were treated here in the hyperbaric chamber at the Hennepin County Medical Center.
Doctors use a chamber like this to administer pure oxygen to a patient at about 3 times normal atmospheric pressure, in effect flushing the carbon monoxide out of a patient's system.
The medical center sees many cases like this every year at this time. The doctor who treated the Rears says the symptoms for carbon monoxide poisoning are difficult to spot.
Well, it's hard to know for sure because the symptoms can be like any other viral illness or flu. Headache, nausea, maybe vomiting, maybe some shortness of breath or dizziness.
This time everyone was okay, including 2 dogs and a rabbit. But the Rears know they could have been killed in their sleep with no warning.
We were incredibly lucky today. It could have been a disaster.
Jack says getting the furnace checked is something he'll now do at the beginning of each heating season. Dennis Stauffer, News 11, Ridgefield.
The best way to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning is to have your furnace inspected by a professional serviceman at least once a year. If more than one family member gets sick at the same time, especially at night, doctors say carbon monoxide could be the cause.
A new undercover decoy operation aimed at muggers who rob vulnerable victims is off to a shaky start in Minneapolis. This police tape shows two men allegedly robbing an undercover officer. The two were arrested, but they have now been let go with no charges filed. A prosecutor says the force used by police was unjustified, but police defend their actions.
I'd go in front of a jury in a second and show them that tape and say, you tell me that that woman gave that man that money. That absolutely, that woman was robbed. It was a strong-arm robbery is what it was.
The assistant county attorney who declined to pursue charges in this case also declined to comment. Despite the outcome of this case, police say they'll continue the undercover operation. 3 firefighters are recovering from injuries tonight after fighting a stubborn house fire in Lake Elmo. Crews from 4 departments were called to the fire at 3077 Klondike Avenue North. They sprayed down hot spots after taking an hour to knock down the flames. 2 firefighters were treated at the scene for burns. Another was taken to a hospital after falling debris hit him on the head. 1 person is dead tonight after the car he was driving smashed into a utility pole a couple of hours ago. The driver was traveling south on Cedar Avenue when he apparently lost control of the car at about 74th Street in Richfield. The victim's name hasn't been released.
When a police chase ended in a fatal car crash earlier this week, it not only reopened the debate on such chases, it left one Minneapolis family devastated. Melissa Young visited with the Kranitz family about their loss and the anger they feel.
When a 16-year-old slammed the stolen car he was driving into Jerry Kranitz's car, there was an explosion. Kranitz was so badly burned it took 24 hours before he could be positively identified.
That was the hardest part, waiting that time and knowing that they're monkeying with them or working on them and not knowing. They said they didn't know if it was him or not.
Mary Kranitz and her 9 children are depending on family strength to get them through. That and the memories of a quiet man who worked hard and loved his family. Just 2 months ago, they had gone to the Wisconsin Dells and posed for this picture. Now they are dealing with their grief and anger toward a teenager who killed part of their family.
He was on probation. I think he never should have been. Shouldn't have been out there.
But the family's biggest concern is that the teenager may end up on the streets yet again. He was released from the hospital today and for now is being held here at the Juvenile Detention Center. He may be charged later this week. They also question the wisdom of police chases. But at this stage, anger and bitterness are still overshadowed by the hurt over their sudden and tragic loss.
God, and Jerry's dead. They're going to bring him back.
Melissa Young, News 11, Minneapolis.
The Kranitz family has no insurance, but a trust fund has been established for them at the National City Bank. Donations can be sent to the Gerald Kranitz Memorial Fund, Detention Trust Department, 75 South 5th Street, Minneapolis 55402.
In the nation's 4th televised vice presidential debate in history, Senators Lloyd Bentsen and Dan Quayle told Americans why they want to be elected. The 2 men answered some 19 questions from a panel of television and newspaper journalists. Republican vice presidential candidate Quayle was questioned 4 times about his experience to take over the role of president if Bush is elected. And one of his answers sparked a heated exchange.
I have as much experience in the Congress as Jack Kennedy did when he sought the presidency.
I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
That was really uncalled for, Senator.
That may be the most memorable exchange, but here's how the 2 stand on some of the issues. On how to solve the deficit, Bentsen favors creating a strong trade policy. Quayle believes in giving the president a line-item veto to help curb the deficit. On the issue of how to fight the drug war, Bentsen favors putting one person in charge to spearhead the effort. Quayle favors using the armed forces and educating children at home and in the school about drug abuse.
As expected, both parties are citing their candidates as winners of tonight's debate. Our supporters gathered at a Bush campaign office in Bloomington to watch the face-off and cheer on Dan Quayle.
I think Dan Quayle has done a fabulous job. He has answered questions regarding his qualifications, about his accomplishments. You've been able to see what's inside of the man.
Teagan believes Quayle will emerge as tonight's winner. But across town in St. Paul, DFL boosters disagreed. Campaign workers for the Dukakis-Benson ticket watched the same debate, but they believe Benson came out on top.
He definitely is going to emerge tonight as the clear winner, and the contrast between Lloyd Benson and Dan Quayle will be even greater than ever, I think, after this evening's debate.
Pat Presea says Benson has continued to be a solid contributor to the Democratic ticket. There's much more to come tonight on News 11. It could be time to put away your winter wear. Paul Douglas has news that will warm you up.
Also ahead, loud parties may be a thing of the past at the U if police have their way.
People are protesting the St. Paul dog pound where they say animals aren't being given a fair shake.
And a very large, bouncy baby girl is born to an Illinois woman, but how big is she?
Choosing the location of a new Highland Superstore is serious business. It takes months of exhaustive research. Reams of demographic data have to be interpreted.
Here's the psychographic profile on the audio buying habits of young adults.
In selecting the site, our team of experts scans the globe for a site large enough to accommodate the vast selection Highland's famous for.
Microwave, sir. Looks like a heavy demand in Sector 37.
And to celebrate the event, grand opening savings have to be planned for every Highland store. Like this Pioneer programmable compact disc player with digital filter, just $159. And this Sony FM stereo Walkman with headphones, just $9.97. So where will the new Highland store be?
Your decision, sir?
It's all very impressive, but I don't understand any of this. Therefore...
Highland's newest store is in Roseville, located in the Harmar Mall. Sale now through Wednesday.
And I love this apartment. Well, you know why Susie and Jerry took this apartment, don't you? Well, sure. Just look at the master bath. It was the kitchen.
It was the hardwood floors.
The kitchen.
Come on, it's the location.
Susie and I are best friends. It was the kitchen.
It was the natural gas. The gas, heat, and appliances are what really sold us.
Comfortable, affordable, efficient natural gas. Ask for it.
Well, I was going to say that. I was going to.
Billy Crystal.
Guess who? Sanctuary! Sanctuary!
Billy was great.
Alan King.
Maestro, Havan Nagila. How about tequila?
Alan King was wonderful.
Two of America's funniest men.
It's fiesta time.
In a new film directed by Henry Winkler.
Is this good for you? This is great.
Memories of Me.
You'll love it.
Rated PG-13. Now in select markets. Opens Friday, October 7th.
A takeover attempt of Twin Cities-based Pillsbury looks tonight like it will succeed. Because of that, news trading of Pillsbury stock was heavy again today on Wall Street as it approached the $60 mark. The price Grand Metropolitan is offering for each share. The stock closed up 5/8, just over the 58 mark. Today, employees at Pillsbury said they aren't sure what to expect, but they're bracing for changes. Officials for Grand Met say the company would maintain Pillsbury's high level of commitment to the community.
Voters in Chile went to the polls today to decide whether General Augusto Pinochet will continue to rule the country, and that story tops Datelines. In Santiago, the voters could only mark yes or no. No names were listed on the ballot. If Pinochet wins, he can rule until 1997. If he loses, a general election will be held to choose a new president. Pinochet, who voted early this morning, has been dictator since 1973 following a bloody coup. In Atlanta, anti-abortion protesters continued their attempt to shut down 7 Atlanta clinics operate abortions, but today they didn't do much because they were outnumbered by police officers. Yesterday, 350 protesters were arrested during the first day of the 4-day protest. And off the coast of San Francisco, take a look at this. About 50 blue whales have been spotted. The whales are the largest animal in the world, and the sighting is significant because it means that blue whales may not be as rare as experts had thought.
It's nice to see video like that.
They're beautiful creatures. Another frosty night on tap tonight, but a mellowing trend on the way. We're talking a beautiful stretch of weather, 60s by the weekend. You will not want to be stranded indoors Saturday and Sunday. No rain in sight for the next few days, Paul and I. And the question arises, are we coming out of the drought? a drought of 88. We want to check the computer, and let's check it out. You decide. That area shaded in red was extreme drought back on July the 26th, gripping most of North Dakota, much of Minnesota. Now watch the change over the past 2 months or so, and you can see some improvement in northern Minnesota, where it's now quite moist. Plenty of soil moisture. Still extreme conditions in red across the Dakotas, Minnesota, much of the Ohio Valley, and the northern Rockies as well. No rain in sight for at least the next 7 days. The latest world satellite photograph snapped at 7 o'clock this evening. A dry sky, unusually quiet all across North America. Very quiet in the tropics as well. No signs of any more tropical storms or hurricanes. And within a couple of weeks, the odds of a hurricane will drop off rather markedly. Why is it going to be so nice and dry for the next few days? You can thank the jet stream. High pressure plopped right over western Canada, acting like a huge atmospheric roadblock, forcing storms to take a detour way north. And this blocking pattern is going to continue to keep us under that warm dome of dry air. And eventually we should be up in the 60s. I think perhaps by Saturday, maybe near 70 on Sunday. Not too shabby at all. Let's check our winning weather spy photo tonight. This was, believe it or not, taken over the summer. I can't remember these showers. Garden variety thunder showers. You can see a new cell popping up to the left, an old cell dying off to the right, thanks to Eric Jacobson of St. Paul. Today's high, 52 degrees under sunshiny skies. The normal is 65. The normal low is 43. So yes, this is unusual. The low 29 this morning. Clear 42, no wind. The dew point 25, the humidity 51, the barometer now on the rise. Our 3D satellite enhancement. Clear skies this morning, but high cirrus clouds are rotating southward. They will dim the stars and maybe keep temperatures just a few degrees warmer tonight. Again, no rain falling out of those clouds for at least the next 5 or 6 days. If you need dry weather for getting the boat out, painting, getting ready for winter, whatevering, this will be your stretch of weather. Some storms stacked up out in the Pacific. Some of them may arrive in the middle part of next week, but not until. The latest weather map, high pressure over Duluth. And as it moves east, clockwise winds around that high will begin to suck up some warmer air. And we are forecasting temperatures again near 70 by Sunday. 82 the high today in Pocatello, Idaho, which is kind of fun to say. Pocatello, and some of that warmth on the way. I could see 80s maybe into the Dakotas and southwestern Minnesota early next week. Tomorrow, Indian summer weather approaches. Highs close to 60. We'll have the detailed 11 outlook. It's coming up for you next.
Remember when every song on the radio was your favorite? Classic 93.7 FM. The music you grew up with is back.
The Beatles!
At last, a station that plays good time oldies and classic hits. 93.7 FM. One great song after another on your oldie station.
What's that you say, Mrs. Robinson?
Classic 93.7 FM.
Arby's introduces chicken cordon bleu. Arby's new chicken cordon bleu, a masterpiece, a triumph, a great sandwich. Arby's tender breast of chicken filet, topped with savory ham and melted Swiss cheese, all on a fresh poppy seed roll. Arby's new chicken cordon bleu sandwich, a performance for the taste buds, appearing only at Arby's.
It's Snyder's $1 Million Sale. Redeem the coupons from your coupon book for over $140 in savings, plus 5 free gifts with a value of over $3. With $1 Million Sale coupon, save up to $1 on Duracell batteries, only $169. Save $10 on the Kodak 35mm camera outfit with built-in flash and automatic exposure, just $39.99. Repel spills with Scotchgard fabric protector, just $3.99. You save $1.60. The $1 Million Sale at Snyder's, the Old Corner Drugstore, for today.
Real funny stuff, kids. Your
delivery was awful.
Your timing stinks.
Yeah, well, you've got ring around the collar.
Oh, now you're funny.
Wardrobe.
What's the problem now?
You didn't use whisk.
Oh?
Francis, powders don't cut it in this business. You gotta use whisk. It cleans the ring around the collar and the whole wash.
Pretty versatile performer.
Thanks. And no more ring around the collar? Your timing still stinks.
Whisk for clean collars and a cleaner wash.
Here's a bulletin. The growing season is over. Let's check the computer. You can see why. Last night, even some teens up in the Arrowhead. 21 Duluth, that was a record last night. 24 in Eau Claire. It's cooling down. Already readings in the upper 30s, low 40s across most of 11 country. Tonight, clear, frosty. A few patchy clouds will keep it a few degrees warmer, 28 to 33. Mostly sunny, 51 to 56 tomorrow. Another fine day. It warms up well into the 60s. Not even a hint of precipitation for the next 3 to 5 days at least. Just a glorious weekend on the way. Paul, you'll want to wheel that couch maybe onto the deck. And should be real nice.
Of course, you'll make me do it, too.
Thank you, sir.
See you.
Thanks. Well, mother and baby are doing fine. That's a remarkable statement for a woman who gave birth to a baby weighing 15 pounds, 7 ounces today. Sarah Rose Darnell came into the world this morning the size of a 4-month-old baby. Large babies are nothing new to Margaret and Frank Darnell. Their first child weighed more than 11 pounds when she was born.
Man.
A large child.
About a week she'll want a Whopper with cheese. Still to come on News 11, a dog pound protest by people who are angry about a pound policy.
Along with this birthday wish for a popular singer.
Into the future. I wanna fly like an eagle.
A lot of places will cut you a deal on the price of 2 pizzas. But what usually gets cut is the amount of cheese in the toppings. But at Pizza Hut, you get 2 medium hand-tossed traditional pizzas loaded with 2 layers of cheese, just $9.99. Pile on your favorite toppings. At Pizza Hut, we always cut you a great deal. So why get their skimpy pizzas when you can get great pairs at Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Where can you find over 2,000 magnificent furs priced to sell at spectacular sale savings? At Ribnick's, where our incredible expansion sale is going on now at the newly remodeled Ribnick's store. Ribnick's has always offered you more fabulous furs than anyone else. Now we've doubled our floor space, displaying more sensational furs than you've ever seen in one place, all priced at incredible expansion sale savings. But hurry before time runs out on our once-in-a-lifetime expansion sale at the new, larger Ribnick's furs.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like a spare moment, 2 hours to catch up, and 10 seconds to go.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could actually buy time?
Just give me a minute, would you?
Well, you can buy time. Extra working time with mobile phone service from U.S. West Cellular.
Excuse me, can I get a couple of extra days?
Mobile phone service. What you're really buying is time.
Could I have till tomorrow morning?
U.S. West Cellular.
Best time of the year.
Police say they're planning a party patrol to crack down on loud parties at the U of M starting this homecoming weekend. Minneapolis and U of M police outlined the plan at a news conference today. They say Friday they'll start ticketing homeowners, renters, and guests at loud parties. Partiers first will receive a warning to quiet it down, but if police are called back to the same party, they'll issue tickets. And some students we talked to tonight in Dinkytown had mixed reaction to the U of M's new policy.
I think it's good because sometimes people get a little out of hand for no reason at all, just because it's homecoming.
I don't think it's going to slow it down any. I just think the police are going to arrest more people.
Homecoming week at the university wraps up Saturday night when the Gophers take on Northwestern.
Animal rights activists are outraged at the way the St. Paul dog pound is being run, and today they took their protest to the city council. But as Andrea Shane reports, they first aired their concerns about the pound itself.
Adoption, not research. Adoption, not research.
The chants that could be heard in front of the St. Paul dog pound this morning come from people from all around the state trying to stir interest among those in St. Paul. It is they, this group says, who must change what's going on at this pound. Here, you can only come in to adopt an animal 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. Now, that may not sound like a big deal. That is, until you understand the philosophy of the person who runs this place. Bernie Fritz has been in charge of the St. Paul pound for 13 years. As the animal control supervisor, he says his job is to keep stray animals out of the hands of irresponsible owners, and he boasts at the outcome of his program.
When you look at other cities throughout the country, their pet populations are going nuts. We've reduced the problem with pets in St. Paul.
Yet with next to no time for people to come in and adopt the animals, where are they going? The dogs that fill the cages at this pound far outnumber the cats. Last year, 1,927 were picked up or brought in. The St. Paul pound put 631 of those dogs to sleep. 273 others were sold for $15 each to research, and 823 were reclaimed.
The only alternative these animals at this holding facility have are death or research. There should be something in between, adoption into a loving home.
They say the people who live in St. Paul should take a stand, see their city council people, or write the mayor. Until then, they say innocent animals will continue to be the victims of what they call the most bizarrely run animal facility in the state. Andrea Shane, News 11, St. Paul.
St. Paul Councilmember Janice Rettman heard the concerns of those animal activists today, and the issue is expected to go before the full council sometime soon.
Coming up in sports, a rare weeknight match for the Gopher women's volleyball team.
And a look at a movie that tells the story Major League Baseball might rather forget. Tom Ryther is going to have a review of this. Siskel and Ebert are nothing when we come right back.
Flag football? Remember flag football? The silliest thing.
Crab soccer, where you got to get down on all fours and go like this, you know what I mean? You go like this?
No.
Oh, it's a great big ball, and it's for inside on the rainy days.
Remember dodgeball?
I never understood that game. I wanted to be out. I go, oh, got me, get me out of here, you know?
Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If you're not wearing Dockers, you're just wearing pants.
What a stupid game.
Another murder ball. Was it murder ball where they lined you in front of a wall?
Imes Cat Food asks, what would happen if cats ran the world? People would average 67 naps a day. Chasing balls of yarn would replace baseball as the great American pastime. And people would have to buy their cats Imes cat food, sold only at pet stores. Because the nutrition in Imes makes a healthy difference you can see and your cat can feel. Imes, special pet foods found only at special places.
I know, off the couch.
You expect a lot from us, but you wanted more. You wanted something bigger and better from the store that gives you the best prices on name brand electronics and appliances. Well, now it's here. Personal computers have arrived, and they're available now at Best Buy. Get this Epson printer for just $199.99, and we'll add a printer stand free. And a 10-pack of BASF floppy disks are just $4.99. Best Buy. Our name says it all.
Today, 18 million eat this as bread. 55 million eat this. 240 million eat this. But only 8 million eat this as bread. These people produce more safe cars and blonde beauties. They invented the Nobel Prize and the zipper. They also play better tennis, and they watch less television. That's the Swedish way. Wassa crisp bread. You can have it in America.
Tom Ryther's here now with some baseball to talk about.
All right, let's go to the scoreboard right away. The Mets in Los Angeles in the National League playoffs. It's in the fourth inning, and L.A. leading 5-2. Mickey Hatcher with a couple of runs batted in. Now, the game this afternoon in the American League, Oakland beat Boston 2-1. Honeycutt the win, Hurst the loss, Eckersley the save. Let's go to some action out of Boston. It was a game of the unexpected, like watching Boston's Wade Boggs strike out twice when he only fanned 33 times all season long. Jose Canseco hadn't hit a home run against Boston all year long. He ended that string with a solo shot in the fourth off Bruce Hurst. Here's the play of the day. Watch this. Carney Lansford going back on this pop. Hit by Benziger. What a catch by Carney Lansford. That was a defensive play of the day. Wade Boggs did drive in Boston's only run with a sacrifice fly off Rick Honeycutt, and that will make the score 1-1 in the seventh inning. Former Red Sox 1986 playoff star Dave Henderson drove in the winning run for Oakland in the eighth. It was Lansford who scored the run, and that made it 2-1. By the way, both those players former Red Sox. Eckersley ended the day fanning, guess who, Wade Boggs. They win it 2-1, and they lead Boston 1-0 next game tomorrow night. Let's take a look at the matchup in pitching. Oakland sends Storm Davis to the mound against Roger Clemens, who has yet to prove he's 100%. This appears to be a must-win game for Boston at Fenway. There are mixed reviews about the new baseball movie 8 Men Out. To like the movie is to love the game, and the story of the 1919 Chicago White Sox has never been told so well. The 1919 Chicago White Sox had it all. They were a cinch to beat Cincinnati in the World Series. But the experts failed to realize how much the players disliked Sox owner Charles Comiskey, a premier tightwad. Take the scene in the clubhouse after Chicago won the pennant.
Hey, he didn't happen to mention when we could expect that bonus he promised us if we took the flag, did he?
This is your bonus.
Gee. Fellas, if it was up to me... Kid, we got no beef with you. It's flat.
8 players agreed to take money from gamblers and throw the series. The plot has several subplots and directions, but it is a compelling tale that captures the baseball of that era. It isn't a fantasy like The Natural or about raw life in the minor leagues like Bull Durham. It is a true story, beautifully written and acted, and the characters are believable, very believable. The movie is a winner. There are some slow spots, but you see, baseball can be like that at times. Go see it. It's very good. The North Stars sent 9 players to the minor leagues today on the eve of their home opener against St. Louis. Goalie Don Beaupre heads the list. He balked about going to Kalamazoo, but says he will go. 2 first-round draft choices are on the cut list, Brian Lawton and Warren Babe. Scott Bugstad is also on the list as we run down the list right now, and he is undecided as to whether or not he will go. So 9 North Stars headed to Kalamazoo. The 19th-ranked Minnesota women's volleyball team in action in a rare weeknight match. They played Northern Iowa at Williams Arena. Let's go to game action. Goldie Gopher on hand tonight for this weeknight match. The Gophers won the first game on a shot by junior Lori Miller. The key player of the night was freshman Karen Lusheen out of Roseville with 11 kills. The Gophers win at 15-12, 15-8, and 15-3, and Ohio State will be hosting the Gophers on Friday.
Tommy usually ranks movies on a scale of 1 to 5 pork chops. So that would be what, 5 pork chops?
Full 5.
5 pork chops.
It would fill my plate.
All right, thank you, sir. Coming up on the Extra, a look at the splendor of the Chinese countryside.
Our series on St. Paul's sister city takes us to the unspoiled beauty outside that city.
The new fragrance from Estee Lauder. Knowing is all. Now exclusively at Dayton's.
Come on into Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast brings you the amazing Carpet Machine Plus by Bissell. You can own your own machine and clean carpets, upholstered furniture, your car, boat, RV, and so much more. The Carpet Machine Plus shoots warm cleaning solution while powerful suction pulls out liquid and dirt, yet it won't soak carpet or upholstery. Now you can deep clean your entire home and get results you'd expect from a professional. Own your own Bissell Carpet Machine Plus, only $159.99 at Coast to Coast.
But listeners have a choice in the morning.
Not everyone listens to WLTE to start the day.
Yeah, some people. Just like a dose of wacky guys first thing.
Even I sometimes tune around for news or talk, but then I spend the day with WLTE.
That's okay. WLTE is perfect to listen to all day long.
Wherever you are.
It's because we have great light songs to sing along with. Our main message, no matter how you start the day, spend the day with the Light FM, 103 WLTE.
Good food starts off fresh, but to keep it that way, you used to have to freeze it and or load it with things most human beings can't pronounce. Well, no more. Now there is Top Shelf, a complete line of main course meals that stay fresh without a freezer, a refrigerator, or even one single preservative. You can take them anywhere, store them anywhere, and microwave them in 1/3 the time it takes frozen. And by the way, Top Shelf is loaded with something not everyone can say, taste.
Tonight on News 11 Extra, St. Paul's sister city, Changsha, China, is the capital of Hunan Province, a big farming area. Tonight in our series, North Star Points East, Alan Costantini and photographer Dave Colby take us to the country for a taste of rice and tea.
It is the people of rural China that get your attention. A visitor is struck by how healthy and robust they seem as compared to their city cousins, and they do good work. The green fields and rice paddies around Changsha are among the most productive in China. 15% of China's rice crop is grown in Hunan province. A spectacular 2-mile-long aqueduct assures enough water throughout the region, but the farming methods are extremely labor-intensive. Fields in South China are still plowed by ox, and pesticide control is a hands-on affair. Spraying is done with portable backpacks on each farmer's small plot.
Farming is obviously hot and hard work in South China, but it's not a bad field to be in these days, if you pardon the pun. Government officials here claim that a good farmer can make 2 or 3 times what a factory worker makes.
Farmer Wang Jian says the policy changes of the 1970s, giving farmers more independence, have raised productivity by about half. His home is a tribute to his own relative new wealth, and he's happy to show it off to Mayor George Latimer and a delegation from St. Paul. Mr. Wang now owns his own truck, but that is also his biggest problem.
The most difficult is for us own a car, own a truck. The gasoline providing is very tight. We can get a gasoline, but the price is very high.
Farmers in South China struggle with poor roads and outdated methods, but a country entrepreneur can increase his income by raising pigs for slaughter or controlling how much rice he grows and sells.
China has been a farm country for thousands of years, but technology-wise it's still so backward.
The Chinese say they are especially interested in technology for storing food. There is one Hunan product that one hesitates to tamper with. Who can think of China and not think of tea? The Hunan variety is among the best. The process is mostly by hand. The tea leaves are chopped and ground into a powder-like consistency.
Actually, they are making black tea for export.
The tea is dried and sifted, but then it's back to hand labor. The tea is piled into a fragrant mountain. Workers use reed scoops to sort the rich black grains into their shipping sacks, and even the labeling is done by hand. Much of this tea is for export. It's a way China earns hard cash to buy goods from the West. Alan Costantini, News 11, near Changsha, China.
Fascinating.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good night.
St. Elsewhere has something for everyone. There's action.
Boysenberry.
Humor.
Must be taken downstairs and prepped for surgery.
What do we use? Woolite?
Romance.
I'm gonna throw this girl down onto the cold linoleum and lick off her mascara. You're a slider, look.
And scintillating dialogue. St. Elsewhere. Expect the unexpected.
I thought I saw a pussycat.
St. Elsewhere. Weekdays at 3 on TV 11.
They're complete opposites.
Eerie, isn't it?
One's a little old-fashioned.
Me? Don't be silly.
The other's thoroughly modern.
She must be fabulous.
It's an unlikely attraction.
Am I the only one in this house that think this idea is crazy?
But it's a fairy tale friendship.
Good night, Tinkerbell. Good night, Captain Hook.
On Kate and Alley.
Weekdays at 4 on TV 11.
It's the Holiday Plus Anniversary Sale.
You'll find a bounty of store-wide savings on Procter & Gamble products for kitchen and bath.
All your household needs, all anniversary sale priced.
Holiday's huge grocery department is packed with anniversary sale savings,
Including Procter & Gamble's famous personal care products.
Shop and save throughout the store now at the Holiday Plus 27th Anniversary Sale.